All right, welcome back to another market recap and a look ahead. If this is the first time to the channel, welcome and thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. Right, so yeah, if you've been following my work, you would have noticed, last week I put out Bitcoin was going to break through its all-time high. I also said that particularly the indices will end up going higher and higher. And that's pretty much what actually happened. So Bitcoin got its breakthrough to its all-time high, which is fantastic. And if we have a look at Dow Jones set a new record high. You just can't make this stuff up. The S&P 500, just really slightly little loss here. I mean, this is marginal. It's really nothing. We got the Russell 2000, also just fractional, really nothing. Then the Nasdaq 100, again, just really fractional. Oil did really well. It closed off at 1.5% higher. So this is looking really good. It's $83 per barrel. No surprise, financials is up and energies is up as well. So please don't forget that, you got the banks that are invested heavily in crude oil. So crude oil tends to prop up the financials as well as obviously the energy sector, which in turn ends up propping up all of these sectors as well. If we have a look at the VIX is well into the greed territory itself. So there's really no fear into the marketplace. So we've also got the US dollar, which is slightly weaker. However, the 10-year Treasury yield is also slightly down, but it is ranging, and yeah, it is what it is. So it is slightly down. So let's just have a look what is coming for us this week and just dive into a couple of other things, particularly a narrative that's been playing out, which is the energy crisis. And yeah, pretty much show you what the game is. Right, so on the calendar front, again, we've really got some big hitters. It's a really big week coming up. We've got Facebook, HSBC, Canon, we've got Microsoft, Alphabet, Twitter, Robinhood. Yeah, I mean, just 3M, just AMD. I mean, really, really big hitters coming out, particularly on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Kraft Heinz, eBay, Spotify, General Motors, Ford. So just really big hitters. Thursday, Apple, Amazon, Shopify, Sony, MasterCard. Then we got on Friday, ExxonMobil, Chevron. The list just goes on. So I mean, this is a really, really big week in terms of the market now. So how will this actually be played out? It really all depends on, what they show in terms of profits, what they've made in their quarterly. But again, it all depends what's happening really on the energy sector. I want to dive into that narrative and then we can just wrap everything up in terms of what I'm expecting with the markets either to go higher or lower, but also looking at particularly Bitcoin, if that's going to be going up higher and what to expect this week. So, of course, one of the big narratives is you got Yellen expects high inflation through mid-2022 before easing. So, effectively, the markets actually really did like this itself because the markets want the Feds to keep pumping money into the system. The market just really likes that. It does not like tapering. As soon as it hears anything about tapering coming into place, you'll actually start seeing a bit of a sell-off. It just doesn't like that. So expect inflation, expect the Fed to keep pumping money into the system well into, she claims, 2022. I'm more in the realm of 2023, more like 2024, to be honest with you. One of the things you'll be finding out is that inflation, they're trying to tie in inflation with the energy crisis. We are now experiencing a energy crisis, and it's an actual manufactured energy crisis. Okay, so yeah, we've got the World Bank sees significant inflation risk from high energy prices. Now, the narrative really is the higher oil goes up, the higher gas goes up. This actually then in turn makes green energy like solar panels and, wind turbines cheaper, right? The alternative energy supply. If you really put it in perspective, I mean, I don't know how people can think that wind power and, sun power, solar panels, is gonna, save energy crisis for the world. It's absolutely bonkers to think that. We simply do not have the capacity in any way, shape, or form to get off of coal, to get off of oil, and go completely on solar panels and wind turbines. It's stupid. We'll go over here. Energy prices are skyrocketing. It's game over for gas. This, again, as you can see, this is the narrative. This is the narrative that's been pushed out. We have a look here. Fuel prices going up. Green energy getting cheap. Now it's time for flexible energy grid. I mean, come on, man. If anyone looks at this, really, like wind power, all of this is gonna solve the world's energy. It's bonkers. It's completely bonkers. Okay, so having said that, you understand the narrative, you understand the game that's happening. Let's go into Bitcoin and see what's popping there. All right, so this happened last week. Bitcoin's ETF opens the floodgates for more. So again, Bitcoin has now officially gone mainstream. All right, I expect Bitcoin to go higher, actually. So the price of Bitcoin has advanced 110% this year. It's really been a fantastic asset compared to the others. It's just really done phenomenally well. So yeah, great for Bitcoin. Well, whether this is good news or bad news, time will tell. But what this does tell is there's going to be a wall of money now coming in with regards to Bitcoin. So I think it's really good, but let's see how that all pans out. Okay, and if we have a look at Bitcoin's chart here, you can see all-time high. And pretty much what Bitcoin is doing now, it's actually it's in price discovery mode. That's what it's doing. It's trying to form its floor, and then it's going to try and look to form another ceiling, and then another floor, and so forth. So this actual drop is very healthy. I would like it to see it drop down a little bit more, probably down to 55, round about to this level here, and then look at another leg up. But I'm also okay with this. But this is very healthy and this is very natural. In other words, what Bitcoin is doing here is getting ready to form another leg up. So I expect Bitcoin to go on another all-time high. I don't think this will happen this week. This will happen in a couple of weeks. So I do think it will look to range a bit, perhaps just retest you a little bit down. I don't know. What I can tell you right now is that Bitcoin is just simply in price discovery mode. So it seems to be holding up here. As mentioned, I would like it to come back down a little bit more, would be great, and then shoots up. But ultimately, I believe it will shoot up and it will reach another all-time high. Right, so that's Bitcoin. Now, with regards to the market, what am I expecting in terms of the market now for next week? So, as mentioned, the 10-year Treasury yield is slightly flat. Oil is great, and you're also on the backbone of a weaker US dollar. So, I'm expecting on Monday the markets to go up. I'm also expecting a little bit of turbulence this week, but it all depends on the earnings that come out of. It's just such a big week. In terms of all of these massive companies and what comes out of that. So, and then again, it all comes down to crude oil. So I would like to see crude oil. Let me just pull this up here. I would like to see crude oil just come down slightly. That to me would be very healthy. Because that would also indicate that it is going to look to form another leg up. But, don't be surprised if energy still comes, if oil does go up again, because it does drive the markets, it does help prop up the markets in terms of your banks, your financials, and also your energy, which in turn also props up your NASDAQs, your Dow Jones, and your Russell 2000, and so forth. So ultimately, I do believe the markets will end up going higher simply because of the environment that we're in. But I am a little bit unsure this week. It just depends, as mentioned, on the earnings that come out of these companies. But I am expecting a very busy week. However, I do believe that there is going to be some profit taking coming through. So I'm expecting little dips in the market. So as mentioned, a little bit turbulence. That's what I'm expecting this week. This is Chris Trade. Trade safe. Have a great week. And we'll chat again soon. Peace.